Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, July 2nd of 2025. I'm Gio Benacourt, and this is a recording done by Vantage Markets, right about half an hour prior to the USA session open. Well, we're seeing how the markets are reacting already after having made all-time new highs. The market last week were shy right about 70 points away from the 23,000 psychological level. It's been retracing since then. Some things might obviously pushing, placing pressure on the Nasdaq. For one, Tesla is taking a tumble by about 5%. Also, the trade talks between U.S. and Japan are going to be a big deal for Wall Street. So there seems to be an unlikely reach to a deal with Tokyo. That's what Trump said. And we have the deadline next week, July 9th, for the reciprocal tariffs. So we don't know how all of that is gonna be taking place in the stock market. But right now, what we can see in this daily candlestick chart that we are retracing. So let's use our retracement tool, and let's just measure all of last week's movement. You see, it was such a bullish movement, and let's take a look at where we could find perhaps probable levels of support. Now the market is pulling back. So obviously we all know that the golden ratio is that nature number, the 0.618 Fibonacci value that even supposedly from your belly button, it'll give you that value. So that's half of your body. But the reason behind this is that everything comes to it. So if that's the case, we have very low levels of to come to it, but it basically is right around a psychological value, 22,400, well, 22,396. But initially, you also have the 0.38 or 38.20% that I have here, and the market seems to be rebounding from here. It also happens to be at a psychological round value, 22,600, and it seems to be bouncing off of this. So basically, I'm going to use the 22,500-ish, which is this 50% retracement, and then that 61.80% or the 0.618%, which is the Fibonacci golden ratio. As far as resistance, well, let's just also stick with values, psychological values, 22,700 and then 22,800. And let's see if the markets will come. We have obviously penetrated those two values today. Well, actually, the first one, and we kind of rejected the second one. So crude oil is also seeming to have what to say on that scenario. There's a correlation between crude oil and Nasdaq. As far as the S&P goes, the S&P actually has done a new in this particular time frame today during the London session. It did traded up to 62.69. So that 62, well, was it 62? The high 62.69 up 62.70, the psychological value. So let's just use that as a possible level of resistance. And the first one, basically, we're gonna leave it here, 62.50. The market is retracing from it. So let's use 62.30 initially, and then 62.10. So let's use that pretty wide level here and see if the markets will find support. Obviously, profit taking is also taking effect. We got to keep that in mind. So the Dow, it opened gap down. So let's just use 45,000-ish as a first level of resistance, and then 45,200-ish. Support for the Dow, I'm going to use psychological values, 44,600, and the next one is gonna be 44,400. Okay, we are in an uptrend. Okay, profit taking obviously took place. Let's see how much of this retracement can we come and measure out. Let's use this. So if that was the case, it'll be a long way down. But let's see. I think today is going to be one of those days that we are going to see some red in the market. So here's crude oil. The PMI for China came out strong, so that's a country that is showing demand for crude oil. So we're seeing here that movement to the upside. So finally, 66 above 6. Let's see if it'll be able to close above 66. If crude oil continues to move higher, we'll see a decline on Nasdaq. Nat Gas. Nat Gas is again within range. It's ranging consolidation. Let's just use the 50 moving average as probable level of resistance in the lower Bollinger Band. That's the 320. That's where it's at. So it could just stay here and idle, just sideways trading shoppiness, trying to hold that level 330. Gold is catching a bid. So let's see if it'll be able to sustain itself north of 33.30, looking to reach higher levels, at least up, fluctuate higher than yesterday's swing high, or revisit yesterday's swing high. Silver ranging, possible breakout, obviously to the upside, being favored. So let's see if we can catch a bid on that. So buy the bid, sell on the offer. Then we have here copper. Copper is looking strong to stay north of $5. It's been here, the last three today and the two previous sessions, this whole week. It's been around bouncing off $5. So let's see if today it'll be able to do another swing high, revisit yesterday's swing high, and close above that. So still being bullish, buying. Bitcoin is obviously also just within yesterday's range after a short sell-off here. So let's see if it'll sustain itself around 107, the pivot point. The euro, well, 118 seems to be a level that's been rejected by the euro. So let's use Monday's swing low. I'm going to use yesterday's swing high as a first level of resistance. All right, so the pounding also just is getting pounded. So it's pushing lower. So let's just use previous swing lows. I'm going to use the upper Bollinger Band and then the 138 psychological value. The dollar index is looking to rebound. I mean, it did hit yesterday's its lowest since February 2022. So in that case, let's use 96. Well, actually, that swing low from yesterday. It's rebounding off all that value. $96. 96. Sorry about that. 96 is the psychological value around. So let's see if it'll continue to move higher. Well, that's it for me today. Have a great trading day and see you tomorrow.